I want to take a moment today to do a video about a topic that I think is very important, something that's happening right now that I think is nefarious. It's dastardly, to use a very underused word. YouTube is stepping up their attack on gun channels. Now, you're probably already aware that YouTube recently pretty much demonetized gun channels. We don't make any money off of advertising anymore. We don't do nearly what we used to do, definitely not enough to keep you on the air, not even enough to cover your expenses in most cases. So they did that thinking, that'll get rid of the gun channels. We'll be able to get rid of them without actually saying we want to stifle this freedom, that we want to stifle expression, and we want to stomp out the Second Amendment on the internet. They wanted to be able to get rid of us without actually having to do that, without actually having to tell people where they stood on freedom and the Second Amendment. Well, it didn't work. They didn't get rid of enough of us because a lot of us became crowdfunded. We just went to Patreon and now we're completely funded by our viewers. We don't have to take money from YouTube. We don't have to rely on money from YouTube. We don't even have to rely on advertisers. We're funded by the people that want us to continue to deliver our message. Well, because of that, YouTube has stepped up their attack on gun channels. They saw what they were doing wasn't working, so I believe they've advanced their agenda faster than they thought they would have to because of this Patreon issue, because of people being able to fund themselves. So now they're handing out strikes to gun channels. And they're handing out strikes based on violations of policies that don't exist and that aren't actually a violation. They'll say, you did something unsafe. But then when you ask them, what did we do that was unsafe and what policy did we violate? They don't have an answer for that. They're just basically handing out strikes, hoping you quietly just disappear if you get enough strikes. And so I think it's very important that right now we become very vocal about letting Google and YouTube and Alphabet know that we know what they're doing. We see how they're trying to squash the Second Amendment, or they're trying to squash freedom on the internet so that they can control the message. But to be honest, I don't think they're going to care. I think they're just hoping that these channels will just go away and that they don't care how much it upsets us as long as, it just happens. Now, I don't think they're going to go as far as to give channels 3 strikes for no reason, because I think that would draw too much attention, but they could. They could just do that and people will just disappear and you just won't see their channels anymore. But right now what I think they're doing is they're giving channels 1 strike, 2 strikes, making them to where they can't deliver content for a while, can't live stream, can't upload a video for 2 weeks, whatever it is after your 2nd strike. And they're thinking, well, we won't actually have to get rid of them because they know that gun owners are a fickle lot and people that support gun channels are a fickle bunch. And if they go a couple of weeks without seeing product come out from a company, which is videos, they'll drop their support. They'll actually go cancel their Patreon. And they're counting on that. YouTube, Alphabet, etc., they have made a calculated guess that you will stop funding these channels if they can just silence them for a small period of time. Which, to me, that's even worse than them just making us go away. Allowing us to just fade away because people stop supporting us because they make it to where we can't deliver content. Well, I want people now, what I want to call out here is this injustice. I want to call out this injustice and I want to call you to action. I want to tell everyone out there, if you have a channel you support that's getting strikes, gun channels that are getting strikes like Such or Jaeger, etc., do not pull your support. If anything else, go increase it by $1 a month. If you're not a supporter of these channels that are getting strikes already, go become a supporter of these channels. And I'm not asking you to say, well, I support Jaeger and everything he says, or I support Such and everything he says. I support those channels. I don't support everything every channel I support says, but I know it's important that they be there. What I'm asking you to do is not say you support them so much as to say with your donations to these channels that I am against YouTube and their war on freedom and their war on the Second Amendment. That's the statement you're making by going and supporting these channels that have strikes against them. So be aware, they're probably not going to be able to produce content for a couple weeks. They have to let these strikes fall off. And during that time, don't forget about them. Don't walk away. Don't turn your back on them. Because that's what YouTube wants. That's what Google wants. That's what the powers that be want. They want you to just lose interest and go away. But show them you're not going to lose interest. Show them that you're paying attention to what's going on and stand behind these channels even more now than ever. Now, I haven't gotten any strikes, so don't worry about me right now. I think one of the reasons I've avoided strikes is because I really don't film a lot at the range. So there's not a lot they can pick on. They can't say, that gun's dangerous, because I don't really do a lot of range filming, because basically when you're a one-man operation, filming at the range turns a 2-hour enjoyable visit to the range into a 6-hour ordeal that isn't enjoyable at all. So I really don't film a lot. That's why I think I've avoided some strikes. But a lot of channels bring you actual live footage of items and things like that, and they get strikes for it now. So support these channels now more than ever. Not only don't cancel your support, maybe go increase it by $1, 50 cents, whatever you want to increase it by. Just increase your support, at least maintain your support. And if you haven't supported them before, support them now. Because like I said, it's not as much supporting them as it is fighting back against YouTube and Google.